One more minute. Okay, 10 o'clock. Welcome to the BOCC meeting from May 26th. Would you rise? Join me in that Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Glad we have a full house. Agenda approval.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
First and second, call for the vote.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Chairman Spooner.
Yes,
Motion passes.
on to consent agenda.
On today's agenda, I have the May 19th, 2026 meeting minutes. I have a new hire, Huerfano County Detention, Fidencia Gareja, new hire in Huerfano County Detention, Wayne Reynolds.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and second, call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Chairman Spooner.
Yes,
Motion passes.
on to appointments.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Trevino, County Clerk and Recorder, and my election deputy, Christiana Jarrett. Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, it is that time again. Elections are quickly approaching upon us. Today, we just wanted to go over some key dates and information for you. Ballots will be mailed on June 8th. At that time, we will also open our 24-hour drop box so that anyone who receives their ballots can deposit those. Our voter service and polling center will open for early voting June 22nd. We will also be open Friday, June 26th for 8 hours from 8 to 4, and Saturday, June 27th from 8 to 12 to comply with state statute. And then this year, election day falls on June 30th. We will once again be partnering with Fort Orange as our ballot vendor throughout the process and getting prepared for this election. They've shown great care, attention to detail, and their communication has been exemplary. We would also like to inform you that Dominion Voting Systems has rebranded as Liberty Vote. We will continue to use them as our voting our voting system vendor. They will be providing the same services for us. They'll just be under Liberty Vote instead of Dominion. We are also getting ready to deploy our 100-foot no electioneering signs. We'll be doing that throughout and around the BSPC. That way it's clearly marked. We've also recently held our election judge training, which was focused on election procedures, safety protocols, and voter assistance. As part of our training, we highly encourage our election judges to follow the see something, say something approach to any concerns or irregularities, just to make sure that those are addressed quickly and properly. Do you have any questions for me at this time? That's it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on to celebration of our wonderful Nick Archuleta. We're amazed at all of the work that he's done, and we really appreciate everything that has happened over the years. And we can only thank him so much. I mean, you've done amazing things. And
Could you speak up, please?
oh, sorry. Does this one work or which one was?
It's the area where you just gotta talk louder.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me better now? No. I never know for sure. Okay, can you hear me better? Okay, sorry. Well, now we come to the time for Nick's retirement. We really don't like the idea of him leaving. We're amazed at how how much work has been done and the quality of work. And we just really appreciate everything that he's done for us. And, I mean, 34 years, that's pretty amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people in this room, in this building that are not even that old, but,
Wow,
that-
you had to go.
I know I had to go there. Hey, when you're 68, you can do that. But we really appreciate it. And we just wanted to give a small token of appreciation to Nick. And
Nick, do you want to come forward?
Nick, come forward and be. Yeah, you're up. Right?
It's a compass, so I don't get lost on my way home.
Yeah, hold your tongue, right? There you go.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's,
You're right.
worked in Canada, Colorado. Ah, it's a compass. Everybody.
Oh, we did have, there's a description inside as well.
Oh, now. Okay. Nick Archuleta. I need new glasses.
Yeah, hold just right to get to see it well.
So you are always here. You read it.
So you can always find your way home. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to the work and family. Thank you for 38 years.
It was rough. I mean, it was a decision, but.
And that was a photo op if you would. Please.
Oh, I got that one. No big deal.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Pretty sharp up in there. All right.
So just a
appreciation from admin. We really do appreciate each and every one of you for what you do. We don't go and visit you as much because your hours are way too early for us. But we love you guys. There's cookies out there if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, but we appreciate you.
Definitely.
See you guys.
See ya.
Ready? Chris?
Thanks, guys.
Hey, man. Good, and you? Good. Good to see you. Yeah. Over at Candy Ham Candy. Right on. Little beat up on Austin, Idaho. Oh, cool. They're great, yeah. So I'll see you. I don't know what it is. All right. Catch up.
Okay, on to permits. Public hearing.
All right. So commissioners, first up, we have the Rio Cacharacin District Violation Plan Public Hearing. If you don't mind, would you appoint me the hearing officer?
Oh, you, sorry. I couldn't hear you. This time we appoint Carl Young as the officer, hearing officer.
Give it 1 second. All right. So first up, we have the hearing for the Rio Cacharacin plan. In your packets, you have a copy of the plan. That's the April 18th draft. You also have a copy of the all right. You also have a copy of the master plan as developed by Baker Tilly and the survey that was done for the inn to show the map area. And lastly, a letter from the Planning Commission confirming that the plan does conform to the county comprehensive plan. The notice was published in the World Journal on April 23rd, 2026. Here in the room, along with myself, we have Paul Benedetti, the attorney for the Violation Authority, Sherry Chamberlain, who's working with us on this project from the beginning, and of course, Kim, our finance officer. All right, so to begin, I want to go over a little bit about the authority, a little bit about tax increment financing and the opportunity factors, a little bit about the Rio Cacharacin plan, then we'll take comments from the public, and then we'll join the public hearing. So the County Violation Authority was created by HB 24-1172. This created the authority, creates the requirements that we have to meet in statute, and lays everything out for us to follow. Some key definitions: the County Violation Authority is a separate corporate body from the county. It's its own entity existing by itself. The County Violation Plan is a strategy adopted by the county for reviolation projects. A project is everything taken to make a development happen. And then we talk about urban level development, which is a requirement in the plan. You're talking about an area which has the promise of permanent structures and or above ground at-grade infrastructure. In other words, for these plans, there's a stated preference for development that is near and proximate to existing development rather than development that is off in the middle of nowhere in the middle of a field. So there are several opportunity factors that a plan or a project needs to have in order to move forward. There are 9 of them. Remediation of contaminated soils and water, clearance or rehabilitation of deteriorating or unsafe structures, redevelopment of landfills and floodplains, investment in critical infrastructure, improved mobility and multimodal access, improved circulation and safe public transportation systems, affordable housing near transit or transportation, economic opportunities for job creation, and lastly, access to healthy food, community medical services, public parks, and public education. So a county revitalization authority unlocks tax increment financing. With tax increment financing, a CRA receives a share of an increment, which I'll explain in a second, property tax and sales tax revenues. The CRA makes a investment into a building or project. In other words, makes a project happen that wouldn't happen but for this investment. And that project results in an increment that then the CRA uses to pay for said investment. This is a chart that is a little bit rough for a number of reasons, but I'll get into that in a second. Basically shows you have your base asset value, your current valuation of a property. This actually does increase over time, so showing it as flat is an oversimplification. Basically what currently exists continues to grow as time goes on, as the market changes and tax valuations go up. When you make this development, you have this increased asset value that generates its increment. That there in gold/brown is your increment. And then after the 30-year period, where you can collect increment on a project, everything is added to the post-project valuation. So local governments, the county that participate get the full asset value after the end of the 30 years. Just a couple of high-level things about tax increment investing. Having a plan, both an operational plan is important, but also when you talk about developing one of these CRA plans, they don't happen overnight. They are long-term projects, 3 to 5 years from pre-development/development entitlement to when you actually start creating the value. And there's a lot of diligence, a lot of planning that goes into creating these plans and operating the CRA. There are 2 types of proposals. One that's initiated by a business or a developer, someone that comes in and wants to do a project and needs help to make that project reality. And others are plans that are initiated by the CRA or by the county that to try to make something happen on a given property. Both of our projects we discussed today, both Rio Charters and Gardner, are county initiated plans. So for the Rio Charters end, there are 6 primary opportunity factors. Investment in critical infrastructure, including water, sanitary, sewer, stormwater systems, management, electricity, and other public utilities. Involvement of mobility and increased access to transportation corridors. Development of affordable housing proximate to enhanced transportation hubs and corridors. In this case, US 160. Development of economic opportunities for job creation and growth and entrepreneurship. And successful location of existing businesses. So in this case, job creation both from any commercial that we develop on that site, but also from helping to stabilize housing for employers such as the hospital. And Shea Organics, both which are located proximate to the site. Clearance, abatement, or rehabilitation of structurally unsound, deteriorating, or otherwise safe structures. I'll show you a couple pictures in the next slide, but if you've been in the community and driven around 160, you've seen the inn and its current state. And then expansion of access to healthy food systems, community medical services, public parks, or public educational opportunities. the pool that is on the property, we intend for that to become a public asset again, we hope. And that's part of the plan there. So key points, you have the letter from the county planning commission explaining that they, in their opinion, that this plan does conform with the county comprehensive plan. It's somewhat difficult for it not to, because the county comprehensive plan was sort of driven around developments like this and trying to create these sort of village concepts in the county. In this case, Rio Gutierrez was included in a village concept that includes the hospital, the sort of somewhat urbanizing area. Also referenced in the 2023 Housing Needs Assessment, the 2024 Innovative Housing Opportunities Plan, and I meant to change that up there, but it should be the Rio Gutierrez master plan that we developed with Baker Tilly. So these are photos of the inn. These are from about a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. You can see the current status of the pool. The inn, of course, the front awning, that driveway partially collapsed, and we took the rest of it down. The pool is in rough shape, as you can see, but our current thought is that the concrete that surrounds the pool and makes up the pool is still in good shape. And the overall structure, while the roof is clearly partially missing there, the actual structure, the skeleton of that building is still in decent shape. The inn itself is a different matter. It's my opinion that the inn needs to be demolished. I just don't think it's a safe structure anymore. It's too far gone, which is unfortunate. It is a beautiful building, but we can hopefully salvage this piece of it, the pool area. So next steps for this project is to, one, select a developer. Two, we have to come up with a plan for the water and sewer connection. If the most logical thing is to connect into Walsenburg. The property already has a city water tap, does not have city sewer. But to work with whoever developer we select and the city to come up with a plan that the city will accept. Then design engineering, including environmental clearance and any stormwater that has to happen. That site already has a retention pond built into it. So part of the nice thing about being a redevelopment project is that already exists. And then we have to build the capital stack in order to get the project moving. Capital stack is just another way of saying the financing plan. With that, we'll take questions from the public. Are there any questions in the audience? No? Any questions online?
Can you hear us right?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, it just takes a while for the acceptance and the mutes and all the rest of that to get all keyed through there. Sorry that I couldn't be in the room again. I think this is an important county decision. I'd like to thank Carl for all the extra work that's going on there. And as a contractor, I can only mirror the sentiment that that building is not salvageable. The expense to try to preserve that structure, as opposed to the expense of we could put some paint on that matches the color when the new building is done. It really doesn't, it doesn't serve, the architecture doesn't serve the area any other than it's an old historic looking building. We could create that in a new architecture. As a pool enthusiast, I don't think that saving the pool in its current structure is of benefit either. I think that trying to work around a big chunk of concrete in order to save a big chunk of concrete is really expensive. I would love to see a pool and more community park areas out there. But I just think that saving a pool because there's a pool in the ground is the most expensive way. And I think we've seen that with the Walsenburg Wild Waters, that every attempt to save the existing structure is far too expensive than starting with a new hole in the ground and giving the county something that's actually usable. But I am looking forward to seeing who takes on that extremely monstrous task. So thank you for allowing my input.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Any others online?
None at this time.
Commissioners, any questions for you guys? Anyone else? Anything to add? Okay. All right. With that, the time is 10:24, and we will adjourn the Rio Cacharson public hearing and move immediately into Gardner Main Street. So the Gardner Main Street plan, I'm going to knock back over all of the things which went over, but that are general to both plans. We'll talk about the plan for a bit. We'll take comments from the public, and then after that, we'll adjourn. The opportunity factors for the Gardner project include the investment in critical infrastructure again, improvement of mobility, increased access to transportation corridors, in this case, Colorado 69.
Speak a little more clearly and louder, because this is what I paid for. I can't understand.
Yeah, and I'm speaking into the microphone. There's a set of, can you get the headphones?
Or Johnny, if you want to sit in the front here, that might help.
Yeah.
Well, I can try that.
This room is pretty big.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? No. Those guys off of you. Is that top one on? No, well, one,
Or on top.
yeah, see if all of them are on. It might be that top one, I'm not, but I didn't think it was. Yeah. Does it work now any better? No? Okay. So I'm gonna face this way and talk to you. And that'll probably help out a little bit. Okay. So the opportunity factors for Gardner include investment in critical infrastructure, improvement of mobility and increased access to transportation corridors, in this case, Colorado 69. Development of affordable housing proximate to enhanced transportation hubs and corridors, in this case, again, 69. Development of economic opportunities for job creation and growth and entrepreneurship, and successful location of existing businesses. In this case, job creation for this project is supported by both expansion of businesses in the Gardner region, of the Upper Huerfano region, and the creation of a convenience store, and I'm not sure what their how to pronounce their full plan, but convenience store and community kitchen, thank you, by the Huerfano Community Corporation. And then expansion of access to healthy food systems, community medical services, public parks, or public education opportunities. There's some park access with that, with this plan. And part of the Huerfano Community Corporation's plan is to, would impact healthy food systems as well. Again, you have a letter from the County Planning Commission explaining that, in their opinion, that the plan complies with the county comprehensive plan. Again, the county comprehensive plan was developed with this kind of village concept in mind. the 2023 Housing Needs Assessment, also the Innovative Housing Opportunities Plan. This particular plan was developed based on the Gardner Main Street Plan. So this is an image of the project in total, which I zoomed out so you can sort of see the entire community. The area in red is essentially our area we're working with, minus the existing community center, the Raymond Aguirre Community Center. With housing to go in block 1, you see the little square there. I can actually probably point that. That works. Okay. There's a park or some sort of community space here. What exactly it will be is to be determined, with housing surrounding it. And this second block can also be used for housing. We are not laying out this third block in our plans at the moment. I think our goal with this project in general is to take it one step at a time, and we're just not there yet on that big of a development. There is parking and a helipad existing in this portion of the project. The helipad currently exists. That was put in a few years ago. This area that is currently listed as shown as parking is where the Huerfano Community Corporation store will go based on the current plans. And there, of course, is some housing along the top edge too, which I think we're going to lay out those lots, but I'm not sure how quickly that will get built.
Where's the community center?
Right here. The existing community center? Yeah, right here. Okay.
Do you have to remove the arena that's there?
No,
No?
the arena's here.
Oh.
Mhm. So future steps for Gardner, we have to finish design engineering on this. We need to go through environmental clearance. The utilities have to be approved. In this case, you all as the Board of County Commissioners, as the board directors for GPID would approve those plans, but they would go through GMS. It hasn't really been involved in the plan, so GMS would make sure that it complies with the existing GPID regulations and make sure that everything works for GPID. And then it would, remember to talk this way, and then they would present you a recommendation of whether or not to approve the expansion or not. The stormwater plan also has to be approved. That's one of the big holdups right now, where the engineer for the project, Bruce Roscoe, has been working to deal with the amount of off-site water coming in, and has laid out a plan for that. And he's working on final steps to get that reviewed by the Army Corps of Engineers, any permit necessary from the federal government, and to move that forward. Once that's locked in, we'll be about 90% complete with design engineering and sort of ready for the final reviews. The capital stack has to be built for the infrastructure. The county is not going to be building the housing in this situation. So we do have to come up with a plan for housing development and how we're going to actually get the physical structures built, which probably involves working with a developer to deal with customers and place orders to buy the houses. In an ideal world, the housing factory, Red Feather Industries, that's located outside of Walsenburg, that's just getting started, would be the source of the housing. But there is still more work to be done there. At this time, part of the reason why we're moving this project forward now is because HDC is ready to go. And the investment in the infrastructure related to their project could also use assistance with TIF financing. So with that, we'll take questions from the public.
My name is John.
And you come to the podium, we have a microphone, and now go for online as well. State your name for the record.
Johnny D. Mullen.
Thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
I live in Gardner, outside of Gardner. I've been there almost 50 years. A few questions. The Huerfano Community Corporation, I didn't realize they were still involved with this, that whole idea of having a cafe and a community kitchen where people could come in and do their canning and all that. I thought that had gone by the wayside. Is that still part of this project?
Yeah, that's still part of the project. It's not what the county is focused on. They are a component of it. We were focused on mostly on the housing portion and those utilities. But HCC has, if you remember in the original plan, or I should have pointed this out, in the original plan, they were going to be in front of the rodeo arena. They've now moved to being next to the helipad.
Okay. But my main thing is I was at the meeting on a Sunday a couple of weeks ago. 2 of you gentlemen were there, well, 3 of you. And it all came up about these houses to be built or manufactured and put in there. And there was a question of 6 to 30, something like that. And most of the community, there was a big turnout there, as you remember. And then there was very negative feeling about having a huge development behind the community center. And to me, one thing that doesn't make any sense at all, you were talking about selling these houses rather than renting them out. And that makes no sense at all. If somebody comes to Gardner, you're talking about having a place for teachers to live, etc. Well, somebody comes in new to teach. They're going to hang out in the community for a year or 2 and decide, do they want to stay here or not? If they want to stay, they don't want to stay in a house in a development behind the community center. They want to go buy a piece of property, buy a regular house. So if you're selling the houses, say you build 6, you sell 6, then what do? Start all over again? Build 6 more? You know, that part of it just doesn't make any sense. On top of our main issue out there is water. You say, oh yeah, we have 15 acre-feet of water. Right now, Gardner's only using 8. I say, hey, we haul our water. We're only allowed 2,500 gallons a month. Why don't you increase what people can haul? You know, I guess you did say now they can use the water domestically for gardens where they couldn't before. I don't know if that includes having chickens or sheep or cows, but I think that's a big issue. So before you go building a whole bunch of houses down there, I think a lot more thought has to be given to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? Any questions from online?
No questions online at this time.
All right.
Okay.
Commissioners, questions for you guys?
I have a question that I wanted answered. I was going to ask about the rodeo arena as well.
I think in the county's concept of this plan, things are built slowly. For sale housing was something that the community wanted during the planning phase when we were doing the Gardner Main Street project with the lecture a few years ago. That's why for sale housing has been a major component, but rental housing isn't completely out of the question either. As we sort of get closer to the designs being finished, an idea of what the utilities look like, as far as cost goes, we'll be able to better estimate sort of what we think the market wants at that time, and to be able to play with it. But I don't expect, unless something unexpected happens to the county economy, a new major employer comes in, things like that, that we would want to build anything more than a few houses at a time or a few units at a time. I think so. The first block of the project, if I go back here, this first block is designated as for sale, but the rest of the project could be for sale or for rent. So I think there are options. Do me a favor, and if you come back to the mic a little bit, that will help out people online. 200,000 is what we are seeing for a price to build on the low end. We haven't gotten anywhere near setting an actual for sale price for these houses.
And how much land would go with this house for 200,000?
200,000 is just the cost for the structure. That doesn't include the cost of the land to
And would they
building a
own
structure.
they would buy the land too, or just the structure?
They would buy the land too. So an actual finished development cost, we don't have that. So what someone would pay for the house, we don't have an idea of what that number would be, mainly because it's too far out and we haven't been able to figure out all of the financing yet. All that plays a part into it, how much grant money goes into building the actual house versus the utilities, things of that nature. I think we'd like to be under $200,000 for one of these houses. Each lot is about half an acre, maybe less. So there are small lots, there are small
How many,
houses.
what is that, 30 acres behind that you bought? That
23.
we bought behind the community center?
23 acres.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a hand online.
Nobody's online? Boy, I thought there was going to be a lot of Gardner people here.
Ryan raised his hand.
No, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Absolutely. I think so. Once we have to answer Ryan's question.
Right?
And Dale.
Thank you. Yep, Ryan and Dale.
There's Ryan.
Thank you. That caught me a little off guard. I thought that the space directly behind in that first lot was going to be apartment buildings for rental. Curious to now it's single family homes on half-acre lots. You can't really zoom that part of the project to know what it is there.
So, maybe a little bit more might help too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this first block is planned out to be mostly single family houses, all these units around here.
Okay.
There was a thought that these could be live work units along this main street running into the helipad. I think the development of that is a big question mark. So I don't feel comfortable saying that that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. One, because I don't think that development style is very common in Huerfano County. And then two, I just haven't seen, and granted, there's still more work to be done, the willingness for a developer to develop those kind of units. All housing development in some ways is speculative when you're building a house.
Yeah.
You want to try to avoid things that are too far away from what the current market is. But rental is still a possibility on this site. So this portion of development or this portion could be rental or for sale. We do have a grant that is strictly for single family owner occupied housing that is funding parts of the utility work for this part of development.
Okay, thank you. That would really be my question, is if it's tied to housing and developments of that, where does the money come from for more dense housing, more apartment style? As a contractor, you would want to see more apartments because it is more efficient to build many foundations at one time and many units on top of that. So as far as a developer coming in, an opportunity to build some apartment buildings, some townhouse style, would make it more efficient to build. And I would think that the expansion of a community center would be kind of lend itself to more dense housing than single family homes. Not saying that the Gardner area needs single family homes, but how many people there are looking to buy a new house in Gardner, whereas the transient neighbors or the transient nature of the area would lead itself to more rental opportunities.
Right. And generally speaking, I agree with that. Part of this is we are developing sort of what that community process led us to, and that led us to single family housing, single family for sale housing. That said, I do think there is, generally speaking, you are correct that there is in the county generally, there is a need for rental housing. There is a bit of a question mark about sort of who would operate said housing, not Huerfano County. But that needs to be resolved before we start working on really trying to develop more rental units. That's a big hurdle there. I do think that this second block right here is a really great location for rentals. And it's possible that in this first development that we could do something like duplexes too. That's not out of the question either.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Next up is Dale.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Dale?
Takes a
There
little
she
while.
is.
Here we go.
Okay, is that better?
There
Yes,
you
we can
are.
hear you now, Dale.
I just wanted to say, having been working on this plan for, I don't know, Carl, how many years now, in conjunction with the comprehensive plan, I think this is an incredible plan that we came up with for Gardner. And the way I see it is either Gardner evolves or disappears. And I think there was great thought put into this plan. The MOU made with the Water Conservancy District and the Sheep Mountain Holding Area guarantees or helps to guarantee water for generations for Gardner, which I am thrilled that we actually did. And I think this plan and the ultimate water plan fit together beautifully. And I think this is hope for the future of Gardner. And I think it's wonderful. So thanks for all the work you've put into it. And Carl, you've been a great influence on this, and I really appreciate it. That's my comment. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
Yeah.
So,
Can you state your name?
sorry,
for the
Jamie
record?
Strickler. I live in Gardner, just above town, just north of town. What kinds of people do you think are coming into Gardner to buy half an acre with a $200,000 home? Personally, when I moved to Gardner, I wasn't looking for a half acre. I wanted acreage, and I wanted to put a home on there, and that's what I did. And I don't think that we have enough transients or whatever you want to call it to come in and buy even a dozen of these places. And the people that live in town in the older houses, they're not going to leave those houses to live there. Rentals for people that work at the school makes sense. For people that maybe are helping at the firehouse, maybe. But to have half acres when there's so many bigger lots, I just don't see that. And then I think if you're getting into more of the rental stuff, then you are getting people in that are going to bring riffraff type stuff. And that being said, I know that like you talked about the big building down in Bandito, that they're going to bring workers in, yes, but those workers are probably going to be migrant workers. Like they might not even be able to afford that. And if that's the case, they're not looking for that. They're looking for a rental and trash it and get out, do their job and send their money back home to Mexico or wherever. Like, I just don't know where you're going to get these people. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else online? No.
All right. Okay.
No more questions? Or Kim?
So in, I think, answering some of the questions that you have I am Kim, I'm the finance officer. Housing is very limited, even in Walsenburg. If I want to baby step myself into a bigger acreage, I want to move out of Walsenburg and go someplace else, this is a good step for me. I'm able to buy something that isn't needing a lot of renovation in Walsenburg. I'm going to pay about the same price if I look at an older home in Walsenburg than if I can get a brand new unit. See if I like the community, see if I can find a lot. It's a baby step. We need to have housing in the area in order to get any kind of economic growth. We're not going to bring in any businesses without people having someplace to live. I, coming from a bigger city, would look for something in a beautiful community like that, especially if the aesthetic stay with what Gardner looks like. Yeah, so being that I don't have a whole lot of money, if I can come in and buy something smaller and then save and then get my land and work on my land and live somewhere else, that's kind of what we're hoping the community grows this way. So that's just kind of my take on it.
There's nothing there to bring people.
That's exactly it. So if we bring in housing for people to live, then we're giving them the opportunity to bring in those jobs. It all.
They're not bringing a job in a half an acre. Like, they're not bringing a job there. They're bringing the people.
There's a bit of a chicken and the egg thing that that's real with housing. And I think, you know, we want to be cautious about how much we're building and when. That's part of the reason why I don't want the county building those houses. Is because as a government, you get into, if you build it, they will come, and that's not where you want to be. You want to be in a place where you are responding to the market. I do think there is a market in Gardner. We did, during the course of development of this master plan, we did a lot of engagement with the community and with different institutions in and around Gardner, be it private enterprise. At the time, there was a tiny home company that was staffing up. To sort of see what people really thought, like, will people live in Gardner? And it came back with yes, we think so. You know, I don't think that it wasn't, oh my God, there's this huge demand, go build them right now. But over time, I think so. I do agree with your point about rental housing. It's about them being more practical at the moment. Ryan as well. You know, I think at the price point that we're talking about for those rentals, I don't think you're going to get, I think you're talking about more people that are professional than anything else, but we don't know yet. And that's part of where this project is yet. We're still in the designing the infrastructure phase and not in the housing, real housing portion of what this is going to look like. Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the comments by the people that are there, and I would like to echo kind of what Dale said. Gardner's going to have to evolve or die. I mean, all of Huerfano County needs to evolve or die. We have been fading into the margins for decades, and I think the swing for the fence on this project is huge, and it is going to be difficult to make it profitable, but there will be a market for small homes. There will be a market for apartments. I mean, it took almost 7 years for the last apartment building to get built in Walsenburg. If you don't start now, there isn't going to be anything left there. I understand Ms. Strickler's point of like, hey, we moved here to get away from all the big things and we wanted our land and we wanted our acres. But honestly, that's all Huerfano has been building in the last 20 years is move out to the land, get yourself a big property, and don't participate in a community. And therefore, their tax base here and the community here has been sliding backwards. I applaud this. I think it's a great plan. I just don't know how you're going to pay for it. Thanks.
Not with stuff. Thanks, Ryan. All right. If there's nothing else, we will. Time is 10:54, and we'll close the public hearing. All right. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So, just a little bit about, no, thanks. Yeah, so, adjourned. Yes.
Thank you.
So next steps for this process, this public hearing, gather feedback, we'll include that feedback into the plan. I think we have 120 days, Paul, to adopt or deny the plan.
Yes,
So,
yeah, otherwise you have to wait.
so in the next 2 months, well, no, 100 days is 4 months. We'll bring this for final approval once we lock in things. You have what's published online, our draft plans, and that's intentional. We can get actual feedback and work those into the plans. So with that, turn it back over to you.
Excellent. All right, on to action items. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Sherry.
Carl, may I ask a question?
Sure.
About the, I'm sorry. Paul Benedetti, attorney. I'm wondering, you adjourned the public hearings, both of them? So does that mean you're going to take them up again?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so you haven't closed the public hearing, so, but this is the first public hearing, so it technically, it's 120 days from today, even though you may continue and take more public testimony and may have more of a public hearing later. But
Okay.
the clock is ticking. One other small point. I just checked with the assessor, and there is a requirement in this statute, like there is in the urban renewal law, that in order to avoid urban sprawl, the legislature has put this language in that if any portion of the property was assessed by the assessor as agricultural land and taxed that way within the last 5 years, and that would be 5 years from the date the plan's approved. So it's not this date, but on September 2nd, it will be the 5th anniversary that this entire parcel apparently was assessed as agricultural. So there is a technicality about getting the buy-in from the taxing entities, including the school district. They can do that by letter. And there's some other provisions in the statute to help, satisfy this requirement. I don't have to go into them, and they may not apply in the rural area like Gardner anyway. So that's just something to keep in mind, of just these little technical legal things that you have to pay attention to.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, on to action items.
All right. First up, I have for you a consulting proposal from CPS HR Consulting for dispatcher recruitment services. County admin and emergency management have been working on an apprenticeship program for the communication center, the dispatch center, funded by a grant provided by the Colorado Apprenticeship Hub. The goal here is that CPS will provide brochure development, advertising, job fair materials, and associated services. The not to exceed cost of the contract is $17,500, including $2,500 for advertising.
Make a motion to approve the contract with CPS HR Consulting for advanced dispatcher recruitment services, funding primarily by the Colorado Apprenticeship Hub grant, in the amount not to exceed $17,500.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell?
Yes.
Chairman Spooner?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, I have for you requisition number 2026-00035. This is for Walsenburg Sand and Gravel, and this requisition, your approval of it, is approval of the award for Walsenburg Sand and Gravel for the Spanish Creek Airport 4B1 turnaround taxiway project. The total amount of the award is $1,227,225.25. You'll see attached, there's also the notice of award from, sorry, I need to change the, there was a typo right there, $1,027,305.67. From Garver, that's required for FAA documentation. You have the recommendation from Garver for the award. You have the bid tabulation, the concurrence of the award for myself written to FAA, and as well as the contract.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the contract for the turnaround taxiway to Walsenburg Sand and Gravel in the amount of, and it's the second amount, correct?
Yes.
$1,027,305.67.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Chairman Spillier,
Yes.
motion passes. All right, next I have for you a requisition for number 2026-00036. This is for a multi-copter search and rescue drone for Huerfano County Search and Rescue. This is a, you see attached the quote from the multi-copter warehouse. This is funded by a search and rescue grant. And if you have questions, Jim Berg is online if you have any questions for him.
Looks like it has come on.
Yes.
Yeah. I know if we can rent it. Or do it, Crawling.
I think that search and rescue is going to be very protective of this, and they do a lot of great work for the county for certain situations, and I think this is going to be extremely helpful for them.
Yes,
Absolutely.
especially in the forested areas.
Yep.
That's right. Great for hospitals.
Ryan,
Oh. Yes, Ryan. If I can't rent it, you can. Keep trying. Are you still trying, Ryan?
well, it just takes a while for us to.
Yeah, the hookup. All the hookups.
Yeah. Ryan, did you raise your hand by accident?
Maybe. Oh,
Here it comes, I think.
in the interim, I did have a question.
Sure.
On the battery life of the copter, is there an idea of how long that will last?
I have not looked into that. Let me,
I didn't know if it needed extra batteries or anything to make it more user friendly.
I'm assuming that they would have or such if they need it, but I'll add Jim on here to see if you want to.
I didn't see it on the invoice.
This is Jim. You want me to speak?
Yep.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I do the purchasing. Oh, sorry. Part of the sheriff's office, so I do the purchasing and do the grant management. This grant is for the basic thermal drone with one battery, and the flight time varies depending on flight conditions, but is generally in the 45 to 50 minutes. We are separately purchasing, and I should have mentioned that in the information, that we're separately purchasing 3 extra batteries and some accessories that the sheriff's office can use for search and rescue, a speakerphone or speaker, I'm sorry, and a spotlight. So we'll have 4 batteries total in our flight operations.
Excellent.
But good question, because the 3 of them are being bought on another grant.
Yeah, that's good info.
Thank you. I think we have Ryan now.
There we go. Thank you. I'm not sure. I wasn't able to unmute from my end, but thank you for the patience. My concern here is it's a really expensive drone. That's great. What is the limitation of the search and rescue and the sheriff's department for using the drone? And before you answer that question, I would like to make everybody in the room aware that the Board of County Commissioners has used a drone in previous years to survey my property without permission. So I have a very biased opinion of the government using drones to search for anything.
You said we've used a drone to survey your property?
Yes, the county commissioners themselves used a drone to fly over my property and then determined that the grass was too long for a permit, which obviously is of an ire that is specific to me.
When was that?
That was 7 years ago. There's not anybody in the room that were participating in that.
I didn't know
But
we had.
it has happened.
I think not being able to speak to that particular circumstance, that the way we use drones for land use purposes has very much evolved with the training that our staff has gone to, both on matter of how a drone can be used in the course of doing that land use, code enforcement work. Again, not knowing the specifics of that situation and not being here for that, I don't want to speak to that, but I don't think that would happen in the current situation.
Yeah, I can
Current
say
operations.
that it won't happen with any of us for sure.
The last time,
I have no idea what happened then. That was waiting for me.
Yeah. I mean, we were not aware of it until we were told that it had happened. We were not given the opportunity to object otherwise. But my call would still be truth to power of that there must be safeguards on these drones to make sure that they are not misused by county and or search and rescue people. I think that within this county, there are lots of people doing lots of illegal things. I totally understand that, but I don't think anybody wants to have a drone flying over their property just to look for whatever's there.
Duly noted. I do know that they've changed the laws on that kind of when the drones first came out about 7-ish years ago. I know that the state and feds have changed the laws quite a bit, and I don't think anybody is allowed to do that type of stuff like they did back then.
Yeah, I don't think they were allowed then either, but thank you. That is my concern. That is all I would curious. I mean, I hope that I'm never out lost, because then I would hope that drone would be helping me, but circumstances are different. So
amen.
That's my question. I appreciate that. Again, you're all letting me have my input.
Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good question.
We'll make a motion to approve requisition number 2026-00036 in the amount of $8,367.90.
Second.
And second, any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Chairman Splitter.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And thanks for the extra batteries. That's good.
All right. Next, I have for you reference number 2026-00037. I did this all in order. For Garland / DBS Inc. This is for Public Works for a roof thermography scan of the county community center. If you all remember, was it last year or the year before last? We did a study of the roof at the community center because of the leaks we were having. That study did come back and say that there is serious structural problems with the roof at the community center, hence why we're having those leaks. This scan would basically help us narrow down the issue areas so that we wouldn't have to go through the full replacement of the entire roof, hopefully. It'll give us a better idea of what's going on underneath the roof, where things are structurally unsafe or needing to be replaced, things of that nature. We did do, if you remember, a quick patch on that roof to stop the current water infiltration, but things have happened over time. That's been an issue for a long time. We know there's weak spots. So this will help us find those weak spots. That's probably a better way of putting it. Total cost, $5,132.
I'll make a motion to approve requisition number 2026-00037 for the roof thermography scan. That's easy for me to say, in the amount of $5,132.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Chairman Splitter.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Real quick side note, I remember there was a typo in the sand and gravel and I forgot to mention it. But we can talk about that later.
Okay.
I did write it down so I don't have the exact place.
Sounds good. All right, next time for you, your Department of Human Services vendor run in the total amount of $38,783.80.
Motion to approve the Department of Human Services May 2026 vendor run in the amount of $38,782.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Chairman Splitter.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, and then for the rest of the county, a vendor run in the amount of $246,434.23. Page 250.
There it is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that number again? It's on 250, what?
258.
258, and it's a 246-434-23, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the vendor run for the rest of the county in the amount of $246,434.23.
Second.
First and second, any discussions? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Chairman Splitter.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right. That's the end of action items.
Excellent. On correspondence.
All right. First up, I have a letter from the County Historical Society. This is their annual membership letter and form. Historically, the county has done the Butte membership for $100 a year. Would you like to continue that?
Motion that we renew our Duke membership for $100.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Chairman Splitter.
Absolutely.
Motion passes. Next, we have the sheriff's revenue report for April 2026. And then I have for you a technical update from CTSI, law enforcement top claim trends in 2025. And last but not least, your leave balances as of May 22nd.
Now we'll go on to public comment. Each person will have up to 3 minutes to present your public comment. Please address the board, the chair, intending for people to express their views. And if you could state your name for the record. Ellen?
Would be more of those women who signed up, but she had spoken.
No, yeah, okay.
And then we have Eric.
Eric. Okay, Eric.
In your request.
Can you hear us, Eric?
Yeah, I
There.
believe you can hear me.
There you go. Yep, we got you.
This is just for Carl Young. If you could send me a copy of the photo as soon as possible that Hannah took of Nick Archuleta, I'd like to include those comments and pick in my story.
Absolutely.
Thank you much. Oh, and could you forward me both the Gardner and the Rio Cacharas Inn plans?
You can do that as well. I'll include it with the picture.
Did you hear that, Rick?
They're in the package.
Hannah's gonna email all that stuff to you.
Yeah, with the picture. Hannah will email it to you.
Yep.
Thanks.
We'll get over to you.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else online? Okay, on staff reports, county administrator.
All right. So as of today, we've awarded the Spanish Peaks Airfield Turn on Taxiway project, which is good to get that done. Reminder that the housing regulations, the draft changes to housing related changes to the county land use code are open for public comment and on the county website. A note that as we continue to move to Tyler, one of the next big pieces to move is HR and payroll. In order to make sure that this goes smoothly, helps make sure it goes smoothly, we will be requesting a freeze on hiring for the month of July. It's one thing to add someone new in the course of a regular business opportunity, regular business time. When you're switching these systems and you're doing parallel payrolls, things like that, back and forth, adding someone in during one of those times just can get a little hairy. That's how things get missed. People get paid improperly. So it's best for everyone to just hold it during that time period. We're still working on an exact timeline for that, but we expect it to be at the very least the month of July, possibly into early August. We'll come back to you with a better timeline.
We had a meeting this morning. It looks like it's gonna be that. We had a time, we're actually in our first week of configuration today. It'll be going for 9 weeks. Right now, we're looking at the timeline as the first week in August will be our go live. The very last payroll in July is going to be our parallel payroll. So hopefully August.
Awesome.
And that is, I believe, all I have here at the moment. I will note that Joe Eads is retiring from the Federal Minimum Lease District. I will actually present that to you formally at a future meeting. And we'll go from there.
Okay. Anybody wants to serve? We have some openings. Excellent. Anything from county attorney?
No.
All right. No need for executive session. And we do have an upcoming emergency management meeting at 11. and a county revitalization authority meeting at 1. Entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
First and second. Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
Chairman Spillard,
Yes,
motion passes.
we're now adjourned at 11:19.
Don't hang that up, please. Becky, why don't you turn off the recording off?
My service that.
Oh.
So when that's meeting and in the recording this minute.
I can take care of that part.
Thank you.
No worries. We're gonna get you a plug up here.
I guess